All right, welcome back to another episode of the High Performance Podcast. My internet is absolutely humming today, so I'm living the dream. I also front squatted 160 kilos in the gym just then, and I'm fucking talked about that.
160 kilos?
160 kilo front squat.
Ooh.
Fuck, it was clean. I reckon I had a bit more in the tank, but I was just fucking grateful for that shit.
My training update as well, because I don't really update, 140 for 3, coming off some pretty gnarly back stuff and a bit of patella stuff from pushing dunks and hitting some dunks, not in game yet. Still rim grazing, but the strength's coming.
And so this is top secret training that you got to keep a secret from all your Instagram followers, I take it.
No, it's going up on my story. So it's one thing I've got to do a bit more.
Hit the grid for me, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I will tonight. That's it. Yep.
The only reason I put Jacob on blast publicly there is I think that there's a lot of people, a lot of the coaches I interact with in GPP Level 1 and just coaches out there in the fucking gym. When I meet them, they're like, oh, I'm struggling with content. I'm like, post your training, cunt. That's a start. If you're training, show people you're fucking training. And it's that's not like A1 content, but it's solid enough content. Reminding people that you train, showing them the system. And that's the thing. It's not just posting your training, because it's if you think about it, you post your training and then you explain to everyone who follows you why you're doing what you're doing. Why'd you fucking squat that way? Why'd you pick this other exercise? Was there anything to the sequencing of it? All that sort of stuff is going to make it easier for coaches to post content. And all you need to do is train, which you should be training anyway, unless you're so much of a wep that your clients sort of speak for you. And in that case, post about what you're doing with them. And then you can post hot takes and other educational pieces. Anyway, we're finishing off the Q&A box. Everyone just went ham on it, and we didn't manage to get through it in a timely fashion last night. So here's the back end of that Q&A.
Harvey, is that a new mic you got there? That's awesome. Is that on a tripod?
It's a different mic, is what it is. It
looks like you're about to drop some bars in the studio.
This is the one I actually use for bar dropping. It's actually a relatively nice mic.
Yeah, it looks like it.
It's also not a tripod.
Where's my snare set up?
It's also on this fucking straight mic stand.
Look at that! Wow.
That it's actually so inconvenient. I use this for miking up amps and shit, and it's just what I had here. So it's okay, let's do it. But I just can't get it on.
Sorry, just quickly. Before we dive into the Q&A, I noticed friend of the show, Jeremy J-Hole Borzillo, he enjoyed the music chat. And honestly, that's all I needed to hear to make it a regular part of the show. So at the very least, I thought we'd just sort of go around the table and just talk about what's getting us fired up this week while you're training, while you're thinking about your ex-girlfriends, all the different ways that we listen to music and sort of get whimsical with it. I've been smashing a bit of Bryan Adams. What else have I been listening to?
Hell fucking yeah!
Honestly,
you have.
a bit of
Run to You.
Bit of Blink-182. yeah, dude.
Run to You is huge. Run to You is huge.
I can't lie, it's been on repeat. Yeah,
man. It actually fires me up a bit inside when people love Summer of '69 and just don't acknowledge Run to You. I'm I could.
That's crazy.
I could never hear Summer of '69 again, and my life would be better. Run to You is fucking awesome.
I don't like Summer of '69. Don't get me wrong. If I'm at a barbecue and it comes on, I'm not trying to kill the vibe or anything like that. But Run to You it changes my DNA.
Yeah, I'm low key offended by Summer of '69, whereas Run to You is massive. I also do not a bad version.
Just the lyrical content and the subject matter. And even the riffs and the choice of instrumentation. No, it's just in the 80s as a whole. I'm so jealous of that period. The only band these days, and they're sort of done their best work already, the Killers aren't really dropping good albums. I don't even know if they're making music, but I'm sure they're not good albums these days. But the Killers definitely had a moment where some of the stuff that they were putting out was reminiscent of that in its own way.
Totally. Do you know what Run to You's about though?
Couldn't tell you if I'm honest. Running?
Fucking listen to it next time. He's having an affair. He's fully
wow.
I love my wife, but I actually kind of love you a bit
gotta
more.
Run to
When it gets too much, I need to feel your touch. I'm going to run to you. Yeah, it's heavy. It's fucking heavy. Like the first line, okay. She says her love for me would never die, but that'd change if she ever found out about you and I. Heavy.
Wow.
Nice. So this is another one that, like, you know, obviously goated band. Been smashing a bit of Radiohead again. I mean, all the hits are great, but particularly in Rainbows, Body Snatchers is the highlight for me. Just really been loving that. Guilty pleasure. Let's drop a guilty. I don't know how guilty I need to be about this. I think initially when I got into Sam Fender and kind of enjoyed it, I was just like, "Ooh, can't tell anyone about this." But then I run into people who just like proudly espouse their love for Sam Fender. I'm like, "Oh, right, like that's cool."
What do you mean? There's nothing guilty about that at all. He's fucking amazing.
And I didn't shit on Gang of Youths for doing this. Okay, but what's the song? What's the fucking song? Hold on. One of his songs is like, it's to Bruce Springsteen. It's like Born to Run. It's crazy. Sorry, I just typed in Bruce Springsteen instead of Sam Fender. What's the Gang of Youths song where they reference I'm on Fire? It's the bridge of I'm on Fire.
It's the bridge of the diving bell. Just like I'm on fire.
If you want to learn more about the general physical preparation training philosophy, we put together an extremely practical course covering all the different aspects of physical preparation, as well as a unit on programming, so you know how to tie it all together and produce the same world-class results that we get with our athletes. We've got pre-recorded lectures, a community page where you can ask questions and interact with the other GPP coaches, as well as monthly calls where you can ask questions live or just catch up and hang out with us. Check out the link in the show notes for more info. Anyway, back to the show.
So yeah, anyway, Sam Fender, he's great. He's cool, writes cool songs. But like I said, it's like, should I just go back and listen to some fucking Bruce, you know? But I feel like I've burrowed through that catalog. So actually, did you hear Sam Fender's, I think he drops the whole album, but it was the single that he's servicing. That also got me going a bit.
Is that the one with the dude from the War on Drugs? He did one with Adam Grandesteel from the War on Drugs.
Is this Tyrants or something? No.
Maybe. I don't know. But either way, it's sick, but it sounds like a War on Drugs song. You know what I mean? Like
Also, I know Brat Summer, especially in the Southern Hemisphere, like we started our Brat Summer a little bit later than the Northern Hemisphere, but I sort of came back around to, and it's not from Brat, it's the song that she did for the Barbie movie, which I haven't seen. That kind of gets me going a little bit.
Yeah, I saw the Barbie movie. And I couldn't sing that song. But to be fair, after that movie, I was just still hung up on that Dua Lipa song. Fucking slaps.
I've recently, I managed to forget that Dua Lipa exists for a bit, and I was kind of happy about that, because whenever I remember she exists, I'm like, why isn't Dua Lipa my wife? I mean, it's possible. Is she in a relationship?
Yeah, she is, fortunately.
Fuck. Dude, you know who fucking sucks in a way that's a little bit funny at this point? Benson Boone. Did you hear his... It's the contrast between his most recent single, which is like, I say this as a guy who paints his nails. It's just a very camp musical theatre sort of single. But then the front cover of his album is like him shirtless. Looks like he's just come out of working in a coal mine with like a American flag behind him. And I'm like, I think we're kind of trying to pull two different levers simultaneously, which, you know, I shouldn't be criticizing people for that. But yeah, Benson Boone, fuck me dead. That guy's a problem. Just for my ears. He's not actually. You know who I'm talking about, don't you?
It just seems like out of nowhere, I can't stop hearing about him, and I'm like, wait, when did this happen? You know?
He had that song where he just squeals really loudly. It's like really soft verse about like longing for someone, and then he just like squeals way too hard. But people are just like, dude, I mean, it is one of those things where he has a set of pipes on him. He just doesn't know where to point them.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's hectic.
I mean, I remember just having that thought about a lot of singers, right? Like you run into so many brilliant singers and you're like, you fucking are absolutely tasteless, and it's a shame that you were blessed with those pipes.
Can't teach taste.
Coming across a bit too negative for someone that's tone deaf, so let's get back to fitness Q&A. Anyway, that was the music chat. Shout out to
Jeremy. Me and Jacob, we've been listening to. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. No. All right, let's go. Harvey.
I've actually been going back and pumping a bit of Skepta.
Yeah,
me too, actually.
Yeah, hell yeah! Like I went back to Konnichiwa and was just like smashing, like, because I just like had to put Man on. I've always been like the chorus of Man just fucking gets me. Also, Gus, do you know what the sample's from?
No.
It's a Queens of the Stone Age song.
Oh, I like. Okay. I'm gonna have to go back and do that.
It's Queens of the Stone Age. I think it might be a live take because it's in a different key. But yeah, fucking sick. Anyway, been smashing some Skepta and a little bit of Chance the Rapper. I hadn't done either of them in a while.
Ooh.
And
go fuck.
yeah,
his album with that CD kind of put me off him. Like, what in God's green earth was that album?
That put the
Do you know
world
the
off,
one where he's holding the CD like that?
Yeah, no, that was abysmal. But I tell you what, Acid Rap was one of my favorite albums ever.
Yeah, 100%.
Wait, is that what I mean, or do I mean Coloring Book? I might mean Coloring Book. Hang on. Coloring Book. Coloring Book's one of my favorite albums ever. I also saw him live, like, before I knew much about him, at Beyond the Valley back in the day, and it blew my mind. Like, completely.
I miss that about festivals.
Yeah.
Just getting introduced to an artist like that through like a solid, just real hard, tight 30-minute set. You know?
It was
some
like
of
a bit of a religious
stuff.
experience. I was fully like, what am I seeing? Just like, I fucking transcended me. And same thing, that same festival happened with Zoo, or ZHU, however you say it.
Yeah. I saw him at the Opera House. That was mad.
Dude, I saw him at Beyond the Valley, and like, it was him, a saxophone player, and an electric guitar player. And like, the visual scene was sick. He dropped Thriller at one point. Like, man, it was fucking crazy.
Nice.
Like, fully was just so engrossed by the whole thing. It's hectic.
That's a good one. That reminds me of like, I think it was my last big day out. That was how I had heard Every Time I Die just through a couple of surf movies, especially the track Werewolf and stuff. But just seeing them live, be like, oh, I've heard these cunts before, and they're a mad live act. Like, fuck, Every Time I Die, like harder sort of rock. I don't know exactly what genre to put them in, but phenomenal fucking band.
Yeah, they're pretty mathy, right?
It's just good rock and roll, a bit harder. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, Jacob, what have you been spinning?
So with the New York Knicks heading into the Eastern Conference Finals, there's been a lot of edits with some Frank Sinatra, New York. You know that song?
Nice.
And I've just been pumping Frank Sinatra. Just walking around the gym, just little struts here and there. I feel like I'm in some movie. Kind of got feeling like that. So just change it up a bit, you know, just want to vary the stimuli in my ears, see if that affects anything training wise. Speaking of that as well, to add on, what I've been doing on my runs is you can actually search up your paces that you want to hit in your runs on Spotify, and it will come up with like playlists to your paces.
Wait, so you can punch sub 20-minute 5K into the search bar?
Not exactly that, but like actual paces. And you can be like, yeah, this is the place.
Well, you just go 5-minute kilometer. Hold on, I'm going to try this.
Yeah, and you just like, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, go try it out now.
What the quickest you can put in is?
Kilometer. 5 kilometer in 25 minutes playlist? What? I've got oh, Jesus. It's not a good one. It's not bad.
Some of them are terrible, but like...
put Speed Drive in there by Charlie XCX. I'll take that. Dude, yeah, I fucking hate that Places to Be song by Fred again. Sucks ass. Don't collab with Anderson .Paak again, please. Keep those two separate. Fred again is great artists. Don't need to collab.
For me, I don't know.
I don't want, like, Fred again doesn't need to collab with anyone. And I think collaboration for any artist where there's mutual respect, they just end up glazing each other too much. Whereas you need someone in there, I think, just to bring down the vibe occasionally, to be like, hey guys, bad ideas exist and we all have them. It's okay to just be like, nah, try again, cunts. Whereas what I took from that was just, a lot of just like, didn't like it.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing. And yeah, it's been a good experience when you change up the style, I think. because I'm very varied in my music taste. So it's good to switch it up, change the stimulus.
I hear that.
But yeah.
Did you win basketball last night?
What was that? Sorry.
Did you win basketball last night?
No, it's a bit of grading game. So we got caught with like a pretty tough team. So like every grade plays against each other. So yeah, we got smoked.
Oh,
but
shit.
yeah, I think they were Premier League. So
you didn't play against Josh Giddey, did you? Did you see that?
No, but that's the type of basketball I play in those leagues. And yeah, that was crazy to see. Did you know that someone dropped 55 on him? He wasn't the highest scorer. Yeah, someone dropped 55 on him. Yeah. He was like the third highest scorer on that in that game.
On his team.
No, in the overall game. He was a high scorer on his team, but the other team beat him. And there was a guy like smashing dunks and shit. It was crazy.
Where's he? Is he NBL or
that guy? I'm not too sure that specific guy.
Who is this man?
Fucking
the Batman of fucking Victorian basketball.
Yeah, you got to assume that obviously Giddey was going probably at 20%, but yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy to see something that you engage in, like an NBA players around that. So yeah.
But Giddey's had some ups and downs in his basketball career. Anyway, hopefully
the rough start.
Hopefully, it just keeps going up.
Q&A.
With a question.
Sorry, before we do, I forgot to mention we have to shout out Ange Postecoglou, who won Tottenham Hotspur their first trophy in 17 years this morning.
That's why I wore this soccer jersey on the show.
Hell yeah, what an achievement! I mean, they also are either coming 16th or 17th in the Premier League, so it's been a very complicated season.
Yeah, I was curious about that because I hadn't heard much from them. I'm like, is this an outlier performance? So it is.
It's insane in the final, the Europa League final was Manchester United versus Tottenham Hotspur, who are respectively 16th and 17th in the Premier League, which is like fucking mental. Like that is the most backdoor way to get into Europe I've ever seen from Tottenham Hotspur. And like, I mean, respect, like they did it, but they've lost, I think it's 21 games this season. Yeah, they've lost 21 games, which is ludicrous. 21 games in the league. Like, that's not all comps. Lost 21 games in the Premier League this year. Fucking insane. But he did it, and
I love the team when they're just hitting a hot streak.
Oh man, all season he's been saying I always win trophies in my second year. And Tottenham are like,
no, I saw the memes about that.
Yeah, they're like the cursed team that can never do it. Like Antonio Conte couldn't do it. Jose Mourinho got sacked the night before the final, so that's not really on him. But like, yeah, it's like so many. They've hired so many more qualified people than Ange who couldn't do it, and then Ange has been saying this all year, but like losing games. Let us know tomorrow, and then he manages to just string enough games across the season and win the fucking final. It's insane.
Man, Aussies have been having a great time with sports recently. I'm just going to say that.
Oh yeah, did you see Brie Rizzo? She won a Diamond League, so she won Storwell Gift off scratch, and then she just went out and won the Diamond League event in Tokyo over the weekend. I think it was actually on like Monday or Tuesday night. So that's an amazing performance. We haven't had Brie on the show, but back in the day, her husband was one of our first guests, and he is also a Storwell gift runner. Actually, I've been meaning to bring this up on the show. So they are the only husband and wife duo to both be Storwell gift winners, which is just like, like I said, Brie's the star of the show now. I think Matt is, I don't know, I think he is still sprinting, but obviously not at the international level at the moment. And it was a real gift guy, but yeah, Brie just on an absolute fucking tear at the moment. And like we've discussed that Australian men's and women's track and field is fucking going off, whether it's Maddie Denny, Gout, Brie Rizzo. There's also, who is it? We had a 17-year-old female sprinter break like a junior world record for 100 meters. I can't remember her name, but to me, she's sort of new on the scene. So yeah, just a lot of talent floating around the Australian track and field scene. Brisbane 2032 is looking really good. Speaking of Brisbane and sort of back to the team sports theme, you just reminded me, Harvey. So Brisbane Broncos sacked one of their players this week because they liked an Instagram post that was a negative post about their coach. Obviously, you shouldn't be doing that. But then a lot of people are questioning the Broncos' standards because they had a player who was driving around high on cocaine, crashed his car into 4 people, and hospitalized a kid. And they just gave him like a little slap on the wrist.
Fucking
and then they
hell.
do a player for liking an Instagram post.
Didn't the Broncos also give a ban to one of the players that did some social media post where he's like, they're going punch for punch? I think that was another thing that happened. Yeah. Not something Reese guy. Yeah, they were doing like a challenge where they grab a boxing glove and they just whacked each other in the face. And he got banned for that. So, yeah.
I mean, it's fuck the NRL. It's just, it's like they'll let people assault people. They'll let people do insane stuff. And then like the moments where they're like, that's it, we've got to lift our standards. It's just the timing of it is never good. Like, it's so fucking dumb. NRL
it's
is
like they've got to quote it to hit
how they manage players acting up is like fucking crazy. Again, you can go all the way back through the whole history of the NRL, but same with like the Todd Carney incident is like fucking, he did so many things that brought the club into disrepute directly, affected other players and stuff like that. The thing that does him in is when he actually does something funny, pisses into his own mouth.
That was fucked.
Like, no, which is like, you know.
Honestly, the best thing he's ever done.
And then they're like, that's it. I should have had more of his previous discrepancies and stuff like that, just to sort of compare them. But yeah, it was funny that was the thing that did him in.
Also,
I know I've said it 3 times now.
The guy that like, you know, hit like did the fucking driving cocaine
Ezra Man.
situation. Is he really good, perchance?
Yeah.
Like, is it one of those where like, you know, the person?
It's a little bit of that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's a bit of a John Jones situation.
They're like, oh, if there was a 5th person, if there was a 5th victim, that would have been it. But you only hit 4 people. I guess it was sort of that. They're just like, try to only hit 3 next time and try to maybe just do beer instead of coke. I don't know what the conversation was like behind closed doors. All right, let's rip through these questions because I've somehow got to find time to do this podcast, jet into Wollongong, glaze Volkanovski, and then come back and do a fucking YouTube video on the history of stress and how that affects how we view training.
You better grab that photo, man. That'll be good. And say, come on the show.
Oh, please. Please. We'll see. Okay. I discussed this with Harvey, though. I don't have anything to ask him. Like, what's
maybe
the
just glaze? Maybe just glaze?
No, that's what I'm saying. But I'm like, he doesn't need to be here for me to whip out like 90 minutes of Volkanovski glaze. Unless he just wants to sit in and enjoy it. But I feel like he's not that guy. Sorry, one other funny reference has just sort of popped into my head. It came up in my Instagram feed again this week. Have you seen the bit where Volkanovski's gone on some guy's podcast? And it's like kind of when he was just sort of blowing up a bit, but they did the podcast like on the mats sort of thing in the jiu-jitsu. Like it sort of seemed like a post-practice interview. And then the guy's like, all right, I've got one last question to ask you, but before I ask it, it's a bit of a different sort of question. Do you mind if we just sort of hold hands while I ask it? And Volkanovski's like, nah, that's weird, eh?
Why? Why would you go for that?
I was just like, respect. No, because you know what? It just raised my respect for Volkanovski so much because I probably would have gone along with it. Like shit like that makes me deeply uncomfortable, but I probably would have just held hands with the bloke. I really respect Volk for standing his ground and be like, mate, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Sticking to his morals, yeah. Especially in the early stages of his career.
Funny. I still have no idea what he ended up asking him. No idea.
And why did you need the hand holding?
Yeah.
So hectic.
I guess he thought that they were having a moment. Like he thought that there was something in the air that obviously wasn't in the air.
Was he some spiritual sort of? Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, you know it. Nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Questions.
Let's do it. Is it recommended to gain weight while training all athletic qualities?
Depends what your goals are. So, for example, if you want to jump really high, probably no good. But then again, like a lot of people's life is more than jumping. You know, it's like, do you want to maximize vert or do you want girls to compliment you on your pipes? Or boys to compliment you on your pipes, probably more likely. But, you know, there's sort of those things. If you're going to run into anyone, you probably want a little bit more mass. So, like I said, and look, this is the thing. When you put on weight from getting stronger and building muscle and stuff like that, it's probably not going to hold back your vert and your speed too much. It's more body composition. Most people are incapable of training concurrently and building so much muscle that it genuinely tanks their athleticism. It's more when their body composition goes to shit, then you can put on a lot of weight and that can really tank your athleticism. So just be mindful of your body composition, and it's unlikely that you'll be capable of putting on enough contractile tissue to fuck things up. Thoughts? Heavy dunker?
Heavy dunker, yeah. If you want to, I'd say it's a lot of stress on your joints. If you are trying to dunk or jumping, your training is very much limited to your body, and that is not good, especially in the early stages when skill acquisition is the juice that you want to squeeze the most when you're new to anything. So if you're not able to get in and do the actual thing because of your body, then it's probably time to cut some weight, I'd say, in a controlled manner so you don't sack your energy as well. So there's a lot of different factors there. You don't want to tank your energy too quickly, but you also do want to reduce your body fat mass. Also,
that answer to the question brought to you by GPP Nutrition. Jacob is studying his precision nutrition certificate to get qualified, and so we will be offering GPP Nutrition.
Yes, we will
in about 6 months.
Yep.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, it's going to be good. A lot of hands-on experience in the past couple of years with some of the worst clients to deal with nutrition. Your 9-to-5 executive people. So hopefully, it is going to be a good learning experience, and I can help provide my practical knowledge to the boys, aka the GPP boys. So it'll be good.
Should be good.
Yep.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Okay, for general... Oh, hang on. I think we maybe asked you this yesterday. Okay, let's go to the next one. How to incorporate mobility into weightlifting?
Fucking incorporate it. Again, this is another one of those questions that sort of gives me anxiety because I wonder about what you've been told. And like, it really is that fucking simple. People are like, how do I incorporate plyos? How do I incorporate gymnastics? How do I incorporate? Just fucking incorporate it. And do a little bit if you're worried about it having a negative reaction. Like if you're worried about things going wrong, you just start with a small dose and then you see how your body responds and then you increase the dose until things are happening that you're happy with. One thing I will say is like, it just depends on your mobility goals. Like I hate it when people say stretching is a waste of time. If your main priority is like doing the splits or whatever the fuck else that requires ridiculous mobility that you're probably not getting into with your regular strength training, you should do some dedicated mobility work, and stretching is probably going to be a part of that. For most people who just want, decent amount of mobility, fucking strength train through a full range of motion. But yeah, if you want to incorporate mobility work in, you simply incorporate it.
I think I also highly doubt that the amount of mobility training that you need will get you the results. Like you will only need not as much. And it's a very much of a drop in the ocean of the overall other things that can impact your training progress. So yeah, a lot of that messaging comes from, people trying to sell programs. So I don't think it's that much of a big deal, to be honest.
Hell yeah. Okay. 4-year PT/SC XP going online ASAP. Google Sheets or PT app? ? Doesn't matter.
Ooh, I wouldn't say it doesn't matter. Like I get a bit triggered when people are like, why don't you deliver it through an app? Because I'm like, oh, you're one of those wieners. Like I completely understand why General Pop, like they need a shiny app. Something that's a little bit gamified, shout out to them. But just from the background I come from, the Google Sheet is king. And like I said, it's like if you don't want to get your training through a Google Sheet, you're probably not the kind of cunt that I want to train. Exactly. So like I said, there's an argument for both. If you're working with like real casuals, 100% get that shiny app for them. Get them fucking, something with some bells and whistles, something that spits out graphs. They're like, oh, look at this fucking line graph that shows my weight going up or down. People love that shit.
That's better, 100%. And that's the amount of people that have the most amount of friction to training. So if you got some people that are bought in and are willing to, do whatever it takes for training, I don't think a Google Sheet will throw them off too much.
But I push back on the notion that, having an app is like higher value coaching. It's like, no, it's like try using fucking, we can't have Train Heroic as a sponsor for this show. I just realized it's a pain in the ass to do RPE based training through Train Heroic. But yeah, it's just, for real ones, apps that tend to be restrictive. I've never seen an app where I'm like, this is fucking hectic. Like this does what I need it to in a way that's sort of simple and not a complete pain in the ass. It's just that for the group stuff, Train Heroic Marketplace is just fire. So I use it for the group stuff.
Yeah, for a couple of my other I've found an RPE app, but it's still a bit clunky to get used to. So that's another option. I think it's My Strength Book, not sponsored.
Oh.
How would you go about fixing rack position being the limiting factor in front squat? Then he's just written wrist pain with an exclamation mark after it.
No, fair play. So putting like a real ridiculous amount of weight on the bar so it's stuck in the rack and then sort of just pushing yourself into a front rack position, like using that as a stretch. So you're not even unracking it. Like I said, you're putting way more weight than what you can front squat and you just use it. You set yourself up and you go to unrack it, but you don't actually, and you're just pushing your elbows up around it and protracting. I find like whenever people ask this question, often I notice that they're not protracting nearly as hard as I want them to be as they're getting their elbows up and around the bar. If you can't get your elbows up, it's unlikely. Jamie Smith would say that the scap delivers the humerus. And I think to get into a front rack position, you need that scap delivery. If your scap's out back, get it back out front of house and delivering that humerus up and around the bar. And then that's going to reduce the demands on the wrist. And also, so one thing, I'm going to make some assumptions here that this person's a bit of a noob when it comes to front squatting. It just gets better. Believe in the process.
Okay, here's my question to you as an ultimatum, just before we move on. How about if you can't get it up that high and it's like literally there? For the listeners, it's like your elbows tucked in. Like they literally can't get there.
More protraction in your training.
Yep.
More protraction and just like generally moving your spine. Shit like that. Train variously. The GPP principles, I would say go download Armageddon, but I took that down. Go watch Jonathan Warren's video on arm training. Look up his YouTube channel. Fuck, he had a heaps funny video the other day. He had to delete it.
The GPP group program is the best deal in strength and conditioning. For less than $1 a day, you get access to my programming as well as access to me through a group chat where you can reach out, ask questions, or have a form check. You can even get a week for free before you commit to it. Check out the show notes for more info.
Have you heard about... I'm just going to skip that one. Unless there's something I don't know here. Is there a new gonorrhea vaccine?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, okay. That's a real question.
I saw that on like BBC News Pigeon. If you follow that page, it's hilarious. It's a great time getting your news that way. I mean, you should be tarping up for other reasons because they get rid of gonorrhea. I mean, there's other reasons you should be tarping up. There's other STDs and there's also unwanted pregnancies. So it's good for people who are having gonorrhea dramas. And yeah.
I mean, is it like a one and done situation? Like, are you immune or is it like an every year? Do you know what I mean? Like, is it like a flu vaccine?
To be honest, I didn't look into it much.
Yeah.
Better fucking tarp up till I'm in a relationship.
I just kind of feel like I would have heard about that. I feel that'd be huge news. You know what I mean? But
it's doing the round. No, it's doing the rounds.
Yeah. I mean, I also haven't left the house in 2 days, so that wouldn't necessarily help.
I mean, no one yelled it at me when I left the house this morning, but yeah, sure, go outside.
Someone yelled it at you on the Instagram though, so you can stay home and do that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. How to start adding plyo training? I do distance running and lift 4 times a week.
Surprise, surprise. Fucking add it in, cunt. I feel like I'm failing you because you just don't know that. But it could be a new follower. And like I said, this comes from a place of compassion and concern. What's fucking wrong with you? Add it in. Go get my free plyo. I got a first month of plyos program. head to me link tree, click the free programs links, go get your first month of plyos. They'll really spell it out for you, but simply add it in. And again, if you are, and there's right concern to be a little bit of worry about how your body's going to respond, especially if you're pushing like large running volume. So just be conservative. And I think a lot of that is like not necessarily with volume, but particularly with your intensity. Like, yes, volume is a factor, but especially with the plyos where a lot of people have negative experiences and create a few symptoms for themselves, it's typically pushing the intensity when you're just a bit of a useless cunt at the start. So give yourself some grace, take it easy at the start, just a bit of a dabble, and then just crank it up as you start to get more of a feel for how your body responds. But for fuck's yeah, it's like I said, I'm not angry because I just get concerned when I hear these questions. That wasn't a Paul Carter response. Thank God.
And honestly, like,
I hate Paul Carter. Sorry.
If you're a distance runner, there's no need to get really beginnery with it. Like, your ground contacts and your joint structure will be able to handle quite a bit, especially if you're smashing a lot of weekly running volume upwards of, 40, 50, 60 Ks a week. Like, you will be fine, especially in the less intense versions. But yeah, with those intense versions, just to echo Gus, yeah, just fuck around, find out. Take it easy. If something niggles a bit, just tone it back. That's the best way of finding out. And yeah, as we say, use yourself as your own science study and experiment. That's it. And if you need a program, grab the free plyo program.
One other thing I'll say as well, if you want to see how we integrate it into a regular week of training, go check out the week trial of the group GPP program as well, because that'll sort of give you a week of, show you how we fit it into a week of training with other qualities.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because to be fair to the person, they do say, how do I start? Like, how to start adding it? Like, they are obviously acknowledging that they want to add it. It's just like, and I was like, maybe it's like a real functional thing of like,
no, that's fair. Like, if they don't know what the options, that's a good point. So, and again, even more reason to go get that first week of first month of plyos program. But so what your variations are, you got jumping on two legs, you got jumping between each individual leg or bounding, and then you got jumping continuously on one leg, which is hopping. So you should do a bunch of those, and you should understand that the single leg variations are much harder, both technically and the forces they expose your body to. But you should have a mix of all of them, but just understand that the single leg variations are a little bit harder. And you can do intense and chilled out versions of all of those. You can do stiff landings and you can do more yielding style landings with all of those. So that's your main playbook.
And as well, something a bit more practical for you if you're listening with the running, I'd say probably do it at the start as a warm-up. You might have an extensive warm-up for your running, and I think putting them first will be a bit beneficial. I think after you run, your joints might be a bit gassed, especially if
your coordination sucks ass when you're tired too. That's a good point.
Yeah, especially that. And I think it would be a great place to get you a bit fired up, get your joints going, get the nervous system going for your run, even though it probably won't be, what am I trying to say? Something you need to, fire your nervous system up, but it'll be a good place to warm up.
Can I just add to this as well? Just like, because the optimization thing's really been fucking with me lately, more just annoying me. But I feel like it's fucking with a lot of trainers still. So Jacob is right. Like in the GPP system, we pretty much always go to like plyos at the start because, again, you want to do that stuff when you're a little bit fresher. But you can also do it at the end. And like, I do believe that it's not as good for those reasons when you're tired, probably lacking the coordination, probably lacking a little bit of pop. So it's definitely more optimal, I think, to use it as a warm-up or more earlier in the workout. But just to emphasize how fucking good training is, like you can order it fucking however. You can do your plyos at the end of your workout when you're gassed, and training is just so fucking awesome. It'll probably work out just fine. Like, not saying that you should do that. Can't think of a single good fucking reason to do it unless you just fully forgot what order your exercises are prescribed in. But just to demonstrate how flexible good fucking training can be. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm going to go on the biggest fucking anti-optimal rant. I feel like it's stewing inside me, and I'm going to pop it a few weeks.
Think about this long-distance runner as well. Not doing plyos is the worst result you could not possibly do. It's
all or nothing mentality.
What I'm trying to say is the number one thing you want to do is do them. crazy as it sounds. And if it means that you have to do it at the end of your workout, then that's fine. Don't worry. Don't get into your head so much that you don't actually fucking do the plyos at all.
If it's go do some shit training. If you're not an absolute weapon, go do some shit training and see how it fucking works. Like, and you just be like, oh. Like, I think a lot of people spend too much time online and maybe just lacking the experience. Like, oh man, so hard to get results. Honestly, not really. It's really not. And I don't want to downplay how much we're weapons here at general physical preparation at getting people results, but I also enjoy educating trainers and be like, mate, think about the total dose of stress on the system. Make sure there's some sort of specificity to the goals. Train all qualities year round and fucking also don't train. You can also train qualities one at a time. And again, we shit on people for doing that, but it's fucking worked. Like,
it does. It'll get you good at that thing. And that's like a clear A to B thing. A plus B equals C.
I'll never forget. Sorry, a little bit of a rant. I'll never forget. Fucking Jeffy Wolf was blowing up at me, our little Scientologist friend. He was like, Angus, you don't understand. I get results. And I was like, cunt, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, yeah, we're all getting fucking results. Can you imagine if you went to a mechanic to get your car fixed? Harvey, say you fucked your car somehow and you take it to a mechanic like a sensible person. And the mechanic's like, listen, mate, you. Hold on, let me finish the fucking story. To point out how absurd fucking trainers are thinking that they're special because they get results. Imagine if your mechanic, he comes up to you, he's like, Harvey, you've come to the right place because I get results. I actually fix cars. And you'd be like, yes, that's why I'm fucking here. Like, you're a mechanic. Of course you fix cars. Jeffrey Wolf's like, I'm different to other trainers. I get results. I was just like, cunt, that's the bare minimum. Fucking idiot.
Is this not while the two of you are like working together as well? It's like, we kind of assumed.
No. This was when he was angry at me.
Oh, okay.
I just think as well, like doing something different, doing something will get results. Getting someone to do plyos, you'll get results.
There are so many useless fucking trainers who get results sheerly by motivating their fucking client.
Just hard training and just constantly just doing something. It's as simple as that, honestly. But
don't get me wrong. Like, I understand there are trainers out there who don't get results, but like they're shockingly bad. And again, a lot of them, I'd like to think they're also not getting many. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah.
I'll never forget Jeffrey Wolf just really thinking he was like dropping some bars when he was like,
bro, I think he did something. Yeah.
All right, mate, you should see some of my results. This is also like an issue with me. Sometimes I feel bad talking about the results we get here at General Physical Preparation because I don't want to seem like I'm taking credit for like the work that the athlete put in. But I just think for the sake of growing the business, I need to just put the results front and center a little bit more because we get great results here at General Physical Preparation. Before we move on to the next question, I do have a couple of slots open for coaching. So if you want some of them fucking results, hit me up.
Hell yeah. Do you know who else gets results or got results? Ange Postecoglou. But he also finished 17th in the Premier League. So
up and down.
Exactly. We all get results. Anyway, bad analogy. Also, I'm not going to read it out because, we're keeping people anonymous, but I just wanted the person who wrote that question in to know that I've seen your name on Instagram, your handle, and it made me laugh. So thank you. Thank you for that.
Also, funny handle name, Runner. Just to resonate with you, there is a lot of information overload online. It can get overwhelming, but it's as simple as you. It is simple at the end of the day. So yeah, I feel you, man. I was there once.
I didn't notice that.
I didn't notice it until we were like halfway through the fucking question.
All right,
anyway. Okay. Would you ever get into the rehab space, physio or EP specifically?
As in, will I qualify myself? No, but it's like, I do certain types of rehab with people. You know, when my clients like my back's sore, I'm like, all right, let's do a bit less this week. You know, shit like that. I rehab people, yeah. But that's no. Short answer, no. I don't like it. Don't come to me when you're injured. Come to me in good health. You might get injured during training, but like, don't come to me when you're fucked. I hate dealing with people in rehab purgatory. I also sometimes lack the patience to deal with people's unhelpful beliefs around rehab. And I think you do need patience, and you need a bit more patience to be a good rehab guy.
Is it because you get some fragilistas? And just
just because like a lot of physios are fucking cooked. And, you know, I hate just sending people out there. I need to build a better referral network because there are some good cunts out there. Then they're all booked out. Anyway, sorry. Let's move on.
We need a GPP physio.
Short answer, no. Maybe.
Hell yeah. Okay.
You know what GPP physio is? Fucking take a week off. That's fucking, sorry. It's not quite.
Take a week off, have a nap, you'll be
Take
right.
a chill week, not a full week off, but like, you know, what is it? Calm shit down, build it back up. Shout out to Greg Lehman.
Hell yeah. Favorite dunker?
Blake
John
Griffin.
Evans.
We absolutely love doing this show, and one of the most exciting things for us is watching it grow because it means we can commit more time to it, as well as have access to better guests to bring you even more quality content. One of the most impactful ways you can help us grow the show is by shouting it out, screenshotting this episode, and sharing it on your stories to let people know that you're listening. Don't underestimate how influential you can be on helping us grow this show, and we appreciate it so much.
Jason Richardson as well, from the early 2000s, warrior, beast of a dunker. I could go on and on about dunkers, but that's my two.
Dude, actually, let me just say it. LeBron. Like, I like John Evans because it's like, he's just like, I just think he has just trained himself so well for it. He's not an absolute freak of nature, but has just made some really great progress over the years. But as far as like someone who I've just watched dunk and just been like, damn, that is some Space Jam shit. Like prime LeBron. Like LeBron in the Miami Heat was just
That's the
a man
best
amongst boys at
specimen I've ever
times.
seen. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Just like a fucking freight train covering the court in about 6 steps and jumping from goddamn near the free throw line and just arcing that arm back behind his head. Like, yeah.
Weighing 260 as well. 260 pounds.
Yeah. Fuck me. Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Dude,
Heavy
in
dunkers,
a world where
I
LeBron
appreciate.
James can take a shot on the jaw and finds MMA, Jesus Christ. Any sport, any fucking sport.
Thoughts on 4 to 8 rep range being better for hypertrophy?
It's pretty efficient, I will say. Like if you're there, say you have no passion for training and you're like, let's just get this job done. I can see a lot of arguments for the 4 to 8 rep range, but I just think if you're going to commit to training for life, just practically, like you're just going to want to explore other rep ranges. I think for some exercises, 4 to 8's not that great. Like 4 to 8 on 8's fine on dumbbell press. Even sets of 4, put most of the fucking effort into getting the DBs up. So just due to logistics, it's a bit dumb to be like dogmatic about 4 to 8, but it is a great place. And I would say that historically, people have been way too high rep in their hypertrophy recommendations. But like anything in the fitness industry, there's a big overcorrection with a bunch of idiots on TikTok who don't have jobs and don't train people. And they're just like, fucking low reps. And it's like, well, just because it can work. I don't know.
One thing for me, I think accessories, shit for accessories, especially for like a nice cable dumbbell curl. You want to be looking yourself in the mirror for a good amount of time, watching your bicep just get larger and larger with each rep, and just you don't want to stop at 4 reps. Like it's a beautiful experience, and that'll drive better training outcomes. You'll come to the gym more. Yeah, spend some more time on your accessories, and as well beginners.
Some 21s. No, that's a good point. Yeah, you want some repetition if you're a learner.
Okay, cool. Is conditioning just fancy cardio?
I've always been confused about this, if I'm honest, much like the difference between a chin-up and a pull-up. And I'm just too far in the industry now to ask anyone that question. I think so, but like, I mean, it could also mean like the conditioning of tissues and stuff. So no, I would say like, full disclosure, I have no fucking clue. But yeah, it sounds like cardio vibes.
I think conditioning also sort of means like preparing.
It's just
something.
a vague term for preparation. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, we were just there. But yeah, I think it's just preparing something to handle something, and that can be your lungs and heart and your muscular system, and it can also be for your sport and your tendies. Yep, all your little structures there. So I think that's what I think. Cardio is probably more around the lungs, the heart, and the fatigue resistance of the muscular system, but yeah, anything else as well. It's pretty wishy-washy.
Is it just everything that's not strength training? Conditioning? Because isn't strength training conditioning? Why didn't they just call it conditioning? Or were they worried about the association with hair products?
Yeah, you want to have, I think that nice S and C is like, who came up with that? I don't know.
Let's look into it. Might learn something when we dive down that rabbit hole. We may have to go lightning round in a second. Volkanovski's, because like they've got limited capacity and they're giving him the keys. Ceremony starts in an hour and 7 minutes. Oh, it's fucking packed out. Anyway.
Okay, cool. Let's do this shit. Is elite sport overrated to work in compared to business owner?
I mean, I've never worked in it full time, but I reckon it's like a lot of it is like seeing behind the wizard's mask in the Wizard of Oz. Like that was in the short experiences I did had. I want to specify as well. Well, no. The biggest idiots I ran into were in pro sport were in the MLB. And that makes sense to me because it's just got the most jobs in pro sport. But I'm to that head of performance at like a major league team that won a ring recently. I was talking to him and I was like, yeah, it was in 2023, I think. And I was like, it was definitely in the top 3 dumbest conversations I've had with a trainer in 2023. Like it's just burnt into my brain, the dialogue. He even had a dumb name. You know when their first name and their last name kind of rhyme? And then when they actually are a fucking idiot, just the way they're named seems even more dumb. I don't know. But yeah, I just think if you got your shit together as a trainer, you probably just build your own business and have a much better time that way, rather than just, like I said, best case scenario, fucking getting paid fuck all to wipe the sweat off the bronze balls and you get sacked out of nowhere. I don't know.
Current people in my industry and my friends, they're doing two sports jobs as well as a gym job. So it is a bit of a harsh experience. Napping at midday at a servo. Shout out to a conversation I had with one of my good friends. I'm not going to out you, but at the gym the other day. But it's a lot of double jobs and making ends meet.
He's posting on Instagram. He's telling you to post on Instagram.
He's posting on Instagram. He's posting on Instagram, and yeah, it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough. But if it's something that you really attach yourself and you really want to do, by all means, just grind through it.
But if you're that guy, you wouldn't ask that question. You know what I mean? I wasn't asking anyone, what should I fucking do? You know what I mean? I knew what I wanted to do. You just fucking do it. So like, if you're questioning it, mate, let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
Ooh, beautiful.
Was that good? Nah.
That was great. That's the best I've ever heard you sing. Okay. Ankle sprain recovery and prevention.
Rest up and then, start doing some stuff. Move it around a bit. See how you go with that.
If you want a detailed answer, ask a physio.
Also, don't. Probably just get no SIBO or whatever.
A good physio.
Yeah, okay. Go ask your local good physio.
Is the dogma around only training fast to be fast too ridiculous?
It just depends. Like, this is a little bit of a bubble in Australia. So, like, maybe, like, for the person who asked this question, I know they're Australian. So, like, yeah, it's fucking silly. Like, again, because it just depends what coaches you fucking talking to. Like, there are still some S&C coaches out there who are like, fucking wide stance box squats are the pinnacle of S&C. It doesn't matter what your goal is. So, like, obviously those people need to be speed and power pilled. But if you are doing athletic style training, you don't have to worry about strength training making you slow. That's just dumb. And strength training will... Actually, sorry, let me say this. because I think I have unique experience here. I have probably introduced more powerlifters, like I'm talking full-time fucking powerlifters, been in the sport for decades, that they're not even fucking doing zone 2. These are fucking full powerlifting ogres. And I take them down the track because I want to beat people. And they keep fucking beating me. And I'm a bit of a shit cunt, but like, I just like I am taking like the most, these cunts haven't been on one leg since the Twin Towers were up, you know, that sort of shit. And they're just, their acceleration is fucking insane. And so practically, if you want to be fast, you should just be doing fast shit. And there's no amount of slow strength training that will make you slower. Like you might have a big week of powerlifting style training and like you'll be tired and that's why you'll be slow. But it's not because you did something to your fiber types. It's not because you fucking did some whatever long explanation these speed and power guys will give you these days. Yeah, strength training, I would say in the current meta, especially here in Australia, strength training is a little bit underrated for speed at the moment. Like I said, I don't know anyone who's taken powerlifters to the track the way I am. And I'm talking like these, like Joey Zingini hit my powerlifter mate. He got up to 10 meters a second with only 20 meters a runner. And he is a good, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Powerlifter's pretty good. It's fucking Sam Tolman's fucking still ripping it. All of Joey's clients take them to the track. They fucking dust me too, you know? Yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay, we got like 8 more.
Let's go.
Do you derive power from the goatee?
I wouldn't like to think so. This is sort of a new thing. This is actually a funny story. This is me just not shaving, right? Like that's where the hair grows. Whereas I kind of want to get into some. Yeah, no. Yeah.
No way. I do get That's impossible. Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Is it just your ancestors just smashing goatees for the ends of time and then you just ended up with this genetic card?
Nope. My brother, full beard. My dad, great beard when he wants to grow it. My grandparents on my grandfather on my mum's side. Oh, did he? I never saw my grandfather with a beard. I'll talk to mum, but he seemed like a high test man who would have been able to grow one. Wow, is that where it is? Anyway, yeah. No, the power comes from the mo. Especially with women. Women do not want to fucking know about me when I have the mo. It's so funny when I, couple of girlfriends ago, had the mo the whole time, right? And then probably like 18 months in, she was like, oh, I've never seen you without the mo. And I shaved it off and just the look on her fucking face, I was like, yeah, this is not good. Thank God your mo doesn't fall out when you get old.
Hell yeah.
No, honestly, I need to do it though as like a way to condition myself to be a more confident man. I need to fucking try to go on a date after a fresh shave. No, but then I'll just catfish the poor lady if I meet her on an app. Okay, so I have to meet a woman in real life without a mo. Fuck me dead.
Cold approaching with no mustache. That's, yeah. Power to you, Gus.
Yeah. It's going to be brutal.
Okay, I'm gonna come back to that one because it's a bit of a long one. Anyway, what is your opinion on Liver King and all of the FP bullshit?
Pass. It's obviously
I'm assuming Liver King. He's written Lever King. I'm assuming he means Liver King, right?
I mean, that's just two different types of shit cunt that have basically no association with each other. But like, yeah, they suck. But like, the Liver King doc, we've already spoken that on the show. The Liver King doco was really interesting. But yeah, two shit cunts. I don't know what your one is.
Yeah, anyway.
Hectic, right on. Why not just not give a fuck about progression and just do any kind of activity a day?
I mean, yeah, if you don't care about progression, that's mad. I think you can get majority of the health benefits of physical activity for that. And if like I said, if you don't have a specific goal, just fucking go live your life and just sort of try to do enough physical activity to stay healthy, keep yourself in some sort of shape that you're happy with. But yeah, you don't need to. It's confusing though. Why are you like that? Why don't you want to make progress in a measured way? interesting perspective. I don't know if it aligns fully with the GPP ethos, but anyone who's just going out there and getting it and enjoying themselves, we support. That it does seem like that person's English may be their second language. So I wonder if there was something lost in translation there.
I'm a 5-foot woman and I have just progressed to 70 kilo squats. A little forward bend happens while getting up, and taller men often start responding to me to keep it upright. Is it really need to be in the upright?
No, they are likely neurodivergent men who are trying to hit on you. So yeah, just ignore them. But if any of them seem nice and like you like them, then I guess continue the dialogue and you can just sort of humor them just because you think that they're nice. But yeah, like in terms of pure training, they're just being fucking idiots. But yeah, like I'm sympathetic. There are a lot of guys who don't have social skills. And so like when they see a woman in the gym, like that's kind of like just their only chance to try and approach someone. So, you know, it's tough that they're doing that and interrupting your workout. But it probably comes from a good place, but they're being fucking idiots. And you should ignore them. There's going to be forward lean, even if you're a short person, sorry.
Sure thing. Okay. Hypertrophy clusters versus minimal effective dose.
I mean, if you just want to do hypertrophy clusters, I think hypertrophy clusters is a mad program, but it's kind of blowing out your programming a bit. I think like Jake mostly pushes that on people who've like fucked their knees, and he's like, well, go fucking go figure out your physique until your knee gets better. It doesn't work. It's not good in an S&C program. Like,
yeah, if you're trying to train multiple physical qualities and
it doesn't fucking work.
You're gonna
and like I said, I'm here for the hypertrophy clusters circle jerk. We love Jake Tura, but yeah, I've had a few people comment 8x5 on my post. I'm like, mate, you can go flog programs for Tura on his page or someone else's page. What the fuck you do? Anyway.
Oh yeah, okay, 3 more. Best and worst things you've seen physios do.
No SIBO people.
Best?
I don't know.
David Gray.
But like honestly, physios as a whole, the best. Who's the GOAT? Dude, I didn't see it. Can I just take a moment to talk about Lewis Gifford? Look into Lewis Gifford if you want to see someone who's like based. Also got a lot of his he didn't get his good education in Australia. Some good. Anyway, look into Lewis Gifford because he is such a fucking sick cunt. And if you're a bit off the whole rehab field, which I find myself doing at times, I'm like, fuck these idiots. They're just no SIBOing people, broadly speaking. Obviously, there's outliers. But Lewis Gifford that's where a lot of this, pain might be a little bit more complex. All these special tests might be a little bit nonsense. He was quite pivotal in influencing a bunch of physios, just pushing the industry in a better direction. And he's a great writer, and he has look at his website. He's written books, but written some great articles on his website. Very thoughtful and intelligent man. Shout out to Lewis Gifford. Could be saying his name wrong.
What are your thoughts on the keto/carnivore diet?
Crap. Probably give you ass cancer.
True. Where's the fiber at? No fiber. No good.
Are Olympic lifts superior to loaded jumps in developing power, and why?
Short answer. It's just the same. It's like you just fucking horse cocking some weight. But like, so why we like the Olympic lifts is it's like for loaded jumps and Olympic lifts to be good and to really like give you the best outcomes, you need to do them with gusto and you need to be G'd up about it, right? And I just don't know anyone who wakes up who's like, heavy trap bar jumps today. Yes. Whereas like me today, I leapt out of bed because I was like, I've got a cute little outfit planned and I'm going to go rip some heavy fucking cleans. And
like,
nothing gets me like boing, like some heavy fucking cleans.
If you're trying to farm some aura in the gym, you don't go to the trap bar jump. You go to some heavy hang power cleans. If you're trying to impress your gym crush, you're not doing trap bar jumps. You're not doing squat jumps. You're doing some crazy shit like some Olympic lifts.
And again, I always use this metaphor. No one's doing trap bar jumps in their dreams. You're ripping heavy ollie lifts. Because in your dreams, you're not a shit cunt and you know how to lift. But nothing wrong with it. If you're useless and or for some reason you're not interested in doing the ollie lifts and trap bar jumps, light your soul on fire, rip and tear.
Or whatever you like, man. Whatever you like. Just do what you like.
All right. Time for me to fucking get my ass into the gong. Try to think of a question for Volkanovski. What the fuck? Or maybe do I just get up in front of everyone and just hit the glaze cannon? Maybe.
Yeah, have like a momentous moment. Just like,
I'm a good speaker. I can probably hold the floor. Do I bucks down the mic stand and go for a walk with it? Anyway, I'll keep you updated. Look out for a pic of me and Volk on the gram. Oh, okay. Yeah, but I'll try to find an angle on it. I'll be like, so Volk, I think your ground and pound's really underrated. What do you reckon about that? And he'll be like, yeah, thanks, mate.
No. Ask him if he does anything specifically to fucking make it so.
No, okay. I'll be like, how did that come about? Yes. Are you drilling it a lot? Okay, cool. And then everyone will be like, oh, this guy knows how to fight. And I'll be like, yeah.
And then you just hit some shadow boxing?
I feel like, by the way, if you want more of these questions, come on my podcast. And then that's
all right, I gotta get in the shower so I'm not smelling like shit when I put my arm around Volk because he's at armpit height. So I'll try to get that pick and we'll see how we go. Pray for me, guys. I mean, it's already happened by the time this podcast comes up, but yeah. And we'll catch you with just some more yakking, or maybe there'll be a guest keeping you on your toes at the moment.